Right, so we wanted to kind of obviously the news is not super new now, but we wanted to, and like we sorry, this is obviously not going to be the best podcast to listen to because
Or ill in bed.
we're ill in bed, but the whole Nintendo NX and the DeNA, we'll just bundle that in one kind of topic. Because the new next Nintendo console, what it possibly could be, we'd done a podcast on it.
Yeah.
Like, pretty much exactly what
Saying
it was.
what people are, yeah.
6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Maybe not even that.
Yeah.
So if you want to know what we think of this console, we did it before they sort of announced the console.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
So just go back a few episodes.
We kind of predicted it.
That. If you want just the broken out topic, just go on YouTube and it's on there.
I said from day one about that, you know, that they're going to do something that you can go on the go with it, and then come into your room and put it on your TV. I think the reason why it links quite well with this whole idea of pairing up with DeNA is because it seems that what they're making is, instead of just a new console, or instead of just the new hardware in any way, they're doing a full new infrastructure of how their games, I mean, this is just how I'm seeing it and how I'm predicting it, of how the games are consumed by customers, because it seems to be this cloud-based thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, where they want to have this whole NX thing. They seem to be pairing all their online.
So as soon as I saw NX,
point.
I said to you, NX
Cross.
Nintendo X Cross, Nintendo crossover. It's gotta be.
Yeah.
I don't know if
I think
it's
that
because I played too many
iOS will cross over with the console. Like, I think everything will be one place now. Why can it not?
I mean, they can sort of integrate certain things, but because iOS is a locked down infrastructure, and so is the Android one. The Android's a little bit more flexible, but the iOS is very locked down, and there's no way you could do a cross-buy where you buy that game on that and it works on there. There's
no, but they could do things with that. Surely.
Yeah, maybe.
iOS have been begging Nintendo for years, so I think that they'll do the best to give Nintendo exactly what they want, and I think that's why I think Iwata's done a very, very clever move in holding out this long. I think other people kind of see it the other way.
Nintendo do that. Nintendo wait until they've got the perfect product before, or what they assume is the perfect product, and they do things their own way.
Yeah,
they don't just go, oh, we're just gonna put Dr. Mario on 3DS or whatever, which I'm sure would sell phenomenally. But
on iOS.
What did I say?
3DS.
iOS. Whatever. Yeah. They have to do things their own way, and that's they've said that it's going to connect with the successor to Club Nintendo.
Yeah, and that is a great thing if you can get Club Nintendo points and use them to what, like buy iOS games.
No, well, maybe the next thing is this all-encompassing subscription service,
Plus.
or like PlayStation Plus, but more than that, where everything as well is still achievement based and everything all adds up to this one thing. You can maybe get points for, instead of buying games, getting certain things within games, like unlocking trophies or something. Imagine if PlayStation, they rewarded people for if you got 10 platinums. Yeah. Because that's giving you incentive to beat the game, not just play the game.
That's true.
And if that thing could link in with the NX, which is... I'll read some of the things that Iwata said in a minute, but if that could like link in where everything's joined in, and it's all in this one hub where everything's rewarded in there, and like people can go in.
That's what I mean.
Kind of like
that's what I'm saying.
Like the Miiverse, but the Miiverse, the ideal version of the Miiverse in your head, where like everything's sort of just connected. It's this one hub where everything's there, and you can see what you're playing, see what you're doing, and you can play all games or something. Like you maybe pay a subscription of, I don't know, £100 a year or whatever, but you can play every game that comes out is just within this
the cloud.
Well, not necessarily the cloud as such, because you can maybe download them to your system, but they're just part of this infrastructure where everything's just connected.
It does feel like that's what they're doing. That's a really good idea. I think that's what they need. Is Nintendo needs to become more than just they've got the 3DS, they've got the Wii U, they've got this, they've got that. I think they're trying to bring everything together. You know, and they've got the Nintendo is this thing. You know, this kind of invisible force that you can get in contact with, or that you can play with, using all these different new devices.
Because if we're talking about the actual DeNA thing, which DeNA, they're a Japanese company that develop smartphone games.
Yeah.
But Nintendo have invested in their company, and they've invested back in Nintendo. So it's this huge kind of incestuous thing where you know, like they're both invested in each other.
Yeah. Nintendo's taken a big stake of their company. They've not got 10% of their company. I think so, and they've got something like 1% of Nintendo, so which is actually a lot.
So when they were Polygon and Wired have got some really good articles about this whole thing. On Polygon, they were discussing what Iwata had said about like free to play and stuff like that. And shall I just?
Yeah, we'll get the computer to read it out.
Okay.
Iwata doesn't even like to use the term free to play because he feels the phrase gives a degree of insincerity to consumers. He said in an interview with Time, instead, he believes so-called free-to-play titles could more accurately be described as free to start.
Okay, so obviously what he was saying there, if it was difficult to understand.
I understood that he did sing it to the funeral march there.
Yeah, he did. He definitely sang it to the funeral march. But he basically saying that he free to play is not free to play; it's free to start. Which is true.
They kind of don't want to hoodwink people.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Like they've always been about the consumer. He also said, well, we can hear what he said. I think
he'd had a couple of drinks.
He seemed a bit upset there. But basically he said, Nintendo does not want our IP to be used in any scenarios that consumers might think we have taken it a bit too far, or question whether the content is suitable for children. And as well, he continued. He continued underwater at this point.
Oh, I can't handle that one for the full thing. You're going to have to change that. I can't do that all the way.
What do you mean?
Do the range. What's that sound like?
Accumulated trust that parents could feel safe letting their children play with our products. An asset that is very precious to Nintendo, said Iwata in the Q&A. We want to maintain this consumer trust and would not want to damage it in any way.
So that was the ghost of Gunpei Yokai talking. Yeah, so...
The ghost of Nintendo past.
Yeah. So yeah, they're basically... They're just saying the same thing. Look, don't worry, our shit's going to be good. And you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's going to be...
It's not going to be fun, and it's not going to be... You know, we're not just going to do... Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, iOS, and the buttons are on the screen. It's not going to be that. It's going to be made for them devices. Like it's going to work within the devices. And knowing Nintendo, like they won't just do like the obvious. You know what I mean? They'll do it in a really creative way, and that's why I'm excited to see, because people are experimenting so much with iOS and trying so many different things with iOS, and there's been some really amazing games come out and really amazing ideas. Now Nintendo are the king of like experimentation, so bringing them into a world where everyone's experimenting and seeing what Nintendo does with it is really exciting.
Well, obviously the good news is the fact that basically Wired has got a really good article called Nintendo NX Analysis. I implore you all to go and visit that. But he's on that. They've got a quote from Iwata that says,
I wanted to communicate that Nintendo will be progressing with video game dedicated devices with a passion.
so they want to carry on with dedicated video game. They're not bailing and just doing
iOS. Of course they are.
Yeah.
And I think that's why he had to announce NX. You know, when they did iOS, he had to announce NX, because otherwise people were like, what, you're bailing and doing iOS? No, actually, we're making a new console, so don't worry about it. I think that was important for them to announce that.
Oh, they also said it'll become important for us to accurately take advantage of what we had done with the Wii U architecture. It of course does not mean that we're going to use exactly the same architecture as Wii U, but we are going to create a system that can absorb the Wii U architecture adequately. When this happens, home consoles and handheld devices will no longer be completely different, and they'll become like brothers in a family of systems, which kind of says that they're a different console. But then later on, he said something along the lines of that it'd be simple for Wii U stuff to work on this new system, but that he said it could just be one device. It depends if consumers just want one device. And as well, he was where's the? I think is it here? This is a really good quote.
Currently, we can only provide 2 form factors, because if we had 3 or 4 different architectures, we would face serious shortages of software on every platform, he said. But if Nintendo had one unified platform like Apple's iOS, Iwata said, it could actually create more than just 2 different game machines each cycle. To cite a specific case, Apple is able to release smart devices with various form factors one after another because there is one way of programming adopted by all platforms.
Okay, so he's basically saying like iPad comes out every year. The iPhone, you get the 6, you get the 6S, you get the 7, you get the 7S.
But everything before it
still works.
Yeah.
Angry Birds still works on the first one, that still works on the last one, you know what I mean? So that's an interesting way to look at it, and he says as well about Android the same, and that Nintendo should look at those 2 things. The quote where he said about it being one device, whether we will ultimately need just one device will be determined by what consumers demand in the future, and it's not something we know at the moment. Although I feel like they're going to go towards one device that maybe comes out every 2 years, refreshed.
Yeah, maybe, It would be, it's an interesting way of separating themselves from the pack.
That's what Nintendo have always done, but need to do.
Yeah, it is, because if they can't go head to head with PS4 and Xbox One in what PS4 and Xbox One do. So why would they even try? They need to stick with what they do best, which is going against what everyone else is doing.
We don't need 3 machines that all play the same games.
No, we don't.
I've always said
no, we don't. Yeah, it's true. And having this kind of thing where it's this cloud full of games, or this online infrastructure full of games that you can play on so many different devices, is a really exciting prospect. Like a really, really exciting prospect. It's Nintendo are jumping into the future now.
I said before this show, like, whereas before Nintendo have always, well, not always, but I mean they've been behind on this generation by far. It feels like they're spearheading and going, look, the industry's worked this way for so long, which they normally are trying to hold on to the way the industry's worked. But we're gonna go look. Well, potentially, we don't know what's happening, but we're gonna go look. This is the future of the way games work.
Yeah.
See you there.
See you there. I'll be there.
See you there.
I'll be waiting with a drink.
All that sort of stuff. You know what I mean? See you there. You said all that.
Yeah, and I could not be more curious. I think is the right word.
People might as well call you George.
Yeah, they might as well. Yeah, in fact, I'll change my name.
All right.
People already call me several names anyway. So yeah, I'd go with that. I'd go with that. I'm really, really curious. I'm not yet excited because it's in the future. I mean, we probably won't even see this console until earliest the end of 2017. I think.
Nah, I reckon it'll be Christmas 2016.
Really? You think they'll announce it E3 2016 and they'll release it 2016?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because they've mentioned it now. That's the thing. And the fact they've ended Club Nintendo and they've said that DeNA stuff's starting this year.
I suppose.
And if that stuff's built with all this architecture in mind...
I don't know. But then it's the actual limitations of can you get a console ready in that time and what limitations is it to actually build this machine, whatever they're doing, and
well, if they're
how long have they had this idea?
All the money that they've got at it, I mean, potentially this could be make or break for Nintendo.
Yeah,
potentially.
Good, but
they've only got so much money. I know they've got a lot of money, but they've only got so much money.
I think it'll be.
They can only have so many in a row failures.
I think it'll be make for Nintendo. They've got iOS, which is.
Is this idea richtig or the falsch?
Oh, richtig. Yeah, iOS, which is something that's a concrete infrastructure. You're gonna get people spending money on iOS. You know, there's no chance of that failing anytime soon. So they're getting on that, and they're doing something that people have been dying for years. That other companies are trying to do, which is having this, way of playing the same game on different devices. Which is what
exciting to me.
Everyone else is trying to do it. You know, PlayStation's trying to do it with Vita. And, say you want about it, but it's not perfect by any sense of the word.
They build on that idea.
They did. And other people have kind of toyed with that idea. Nintendo are going all in on an idea that they know that people want, and they're getting on board on a ship that's already sailing well.
A dedicated device for this has never done.
No,
the Vita is a handheld, where you can play PS4 stuff. The PS4 was just a PS4 in it, really. But,
yeah.
But there's never been this built from the ground up for that.
True.
For that only reason. That's tying in with DNA. It's tying in with everything else.
I just like the idea of the games being bought on a online thing and just being downloaded to different devices.
About games like Nintendo, like probably Mario Galaxy is still 30 quid.
Yeah.
Like, you can't get Mario 3D World for less than 35, 40 quid.
No.
What are they going to price their iPhone games like? I can't see them having 99 cents struck.
I can't see them having 99 cents, but at the same time, I don't think it'll be $30 for a game.
No, I'm not saying it's going to be $30, but is it going to be $15, $20?
I'd average it at 10.
Look how much you charge for virtual console games.
But they've talked about free to play, haven't they? So do you think free to play could be their way of?
They've not specifically said they're going to do that.
No.
Said,
but they've said that they've mentioned that, and do you not think that their games will be?
Well, they've experimented it with like Pokemon Shuffle, which
I can see them being all on board microtransactions with stuff like that. So that you could spend as much or as little as you want.
If there was something along the lines of Pokemon or something like that, I mean, you could fleece people for money there, but...
Yeah, you could.
I don't know. I don't know, and I wonder if the NFC is going to play in with certain things.
True.
Like, Android has NFC and iPhone has NFC, but you can't use it.
Yeah.
But if
the next iteration, you might be able to...
Like when they were only on about a couple months ago, or even less than a month ago, that they're going to put NFC in trading cards and this and that and this and that.
Yeah.
Will this become a part of it? Hopefully.
I want iOS to be a place as well where they use these IPs that have not been used for a while and make them relevant to a new audience.
Here's something where you have to go, richtig or the falsch. Yeah. Will it be dual screen? If it's one device, if it's this device that is going to be a single device that plays the future games.
I'm going to go with Richtig.
Dual screen.
Dual screen.
Richtig.
Because it if they've already got, right, if it is this one device and they've already got a screen that you can play it on the bus or whatever, then when you come home and put it on your TV, you're just going to have a blank screen there, so they might as well put something else on it. There's got to be dual screen if it's the same thing.
Yeah, but then there's going to be two screens on there and one screen's still going to be doing something. It's a triple screen.
No. I think a single screen on the... Like a gamepad, single screen, when you're on the TV, it's dual screen, isn't it? So
yeah, but then all the second screen is going to be retired to inventories.
But I think
it has been now.
Yeah, it has been now.
But it's just going to be they're just going to be menus and inventories because it can't be something important.
No,
because
if
you're playing it away, you can play it on the bus.
Yeah.
So you don't think it'll be this clamshell dual screen thing?
No, I don't. I might be wrong, but I don't see that. I think they might even go completely away from anything we've thought of. You know, I think they're going to have to. It's going to have to be very, very different from the Wii U, and very different from the Wii, because it's confusing. If it's got the word Wii in the title, I'm not buying it.
Last Richtig oder Faust. If people want to know where Richtig oder Faust comes from, well, it comes from the good people in Germany. But we did a review on YouTube for cannabis incense.
Talking Sense.
It's called Talking Sense. You can, if you just go onto YouTube and just type in Nintendo Sushi.
It's a weird video.
It'll be on there. Yes, we review cannabis, and then we had these cool thumb thing.
Yeah.
And if we liked it, it was a Richtig. If we didn't like it, it was a Farsch.
Mm-hmm.
So for the Richtig or the Farsch is will we ever see? Is this the end of motion gaming for Nintendo?
I really hope so.
It won't. I really hope so. Or the Farsch.
Sorry, Richtig.
Richtig.
Because I'm optimistic. I don't motion.
Up to Richtig.
Up to Richtig.
Up to Richtig or up to Farsch. Up to Richtig.
Pesafalsch.
Pesafalsch or the up to Richtig.
Up to Richtig.
Up to Richtig.
What do you think?
Up to Richtig. No, nicht up to Farsch. What was
but
it?
I was thinking...
Pesafalsch.
I think it would be good.
Don't point to Squirtle while you say. I think Pet Squirtle would be good.
If they brought out stuff like balloon fight and stuff like that, but to a new audience where kids are going, "What is this balloon fight? I've never seen this before." You know, and it'll be sad to people being like, "Oh, have you heard this new game, Balloon Fight?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's years old."
Anyway, stop talking. What about Balloon Fight?
But what I'm saying is, if they bring these old IPs that haven't been used for a while, Ice Climbers, Balloon Fight, all these, if they bring them out on iOS...
Punch-Out, which would be cool.
Punch-Out
would work on iOS.
It would work, it'd be cool. If they bring them out on iOS and make them... They're old IPs that have been dormant for a long time. Make them new again to a younger audience. That would be really interesting. That'll have people... Then when stuff coming out on the Virtual Console... You know, imagine if they had the Punch-Out on the iOS. And... By the way, on this whole big infrastructure that we've got, this online thing, you can buy the Virtual Console of this game, see its roots, kind of thing. It'd be a really good way of selling their old stuff, which Nintendo are very, very good at doing. It'd be a very good way of doing that and bringing these new IPs into this century.
Okay, cool.
Old IPs,
so
sorry.
Everything's a Richtig.
Everything's a Richtig.
Nicht a Pesafalsch. Okay, cool. So that's been us. Do you want to tell people how they can get an extra show? They're loving this show.
Yeah, they
but
are.
I prefer the extra shows. I think they're better.
I do as well. We usually...
One a month.
Just grab me a link.
January, February, Marches. All three are out.
Yeah. So we have the Koopa Club. Now, the Koopa Club is an online subscription service that you can do with us.
Es ist der Richtig.
It is the Richtig. And you get... If you pay over $5, we've got different tiers, but over $5...
All $5.
All $5 itself.
Yes, yeah.
You get an extra podcast show. Completely... It's just an audio one, but we record it. And just give it to people paying $5 and up. There are loads of different tiers where you can get stuff like Skype conversations, merchandise every week, everything early. Just check it out. Check it out.
Basically, the podcast comes out a day early for everyone. Even if you're just paying $1. The video comes out 5 days early.
Yeah.
So people are getting
Yeah,
Some good
we
shit.
try and make sure that people
And
get
the extra shows are really good.
Yeah, they are. I in some of the extra shows that we've done, I've really enjoyed. And check out our store as well, nintendosushi.com/shop.
Right, everyone, keep it optimistic.
I'm going back to bed.
Ich habe besser falsch.